Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and Shock Assault was a little more fun than I thought it would be. Still not necessarily my favorite thing in the world, but not bad. Well, before we move on to the next one, we're going to roll the die, we're going to get the jazz soundtrack, and we're going to see what's next. Alright, so I think the next thing that we are going to do... So we've done that, done that, done that, done that, done that. Haven't done that one or that one. Done that. We actually don't have a lot left, which means I really need to get part 3 of the tier list out. Not had the amount of time that I would like to have in order to get that done, but dude, it's coming up on time to really think about it. Alright, so let's do Radiant Beat. This one is a personal favorite. Well, I guess I shouldn't say favorite, but it's one that I default to a lot because I like the design principle behind it. And it's one of those spells that gets multiple casts, so you get all sorts of opportunities to disrupt enemy plans with this. And even though it does work better on enemies that can be shocked, you don't need to be shocked in order to be affected by that, which is another thing I like about it. So the real question becomes, what's the best way to use this spell? Well, I think I'm going to try running it in sort of a high-tempo build. Something where I'm going to be just constantly throwing out attacks in order to keep my enemies at bay. Which means for our standard, we need something that gets multiple charges. Which, yeah, that does the job, but... Actually, no, it doesn't. What am I talking about? Screw that. No one likes you. Why you're not invited to my birthday party. Volvo Barrage counts, but... I mean, really? First of all, it doesn't gel with how Radiant Beat works, and second of all, how effective do you think blowing bubbles at people is really going to be? Like, honestly now. Let's see, so what else has multiple charges? Well, that does, but I don't care. Anyway. Interesting, so... When it's just the standard Arcana, it repels enemies, but when it's the upgraded version, it pulls them in. God, that's actually kind of a cool design philosophy. It's a shame that the spell kind of stinks, but that does give it a lot more personality. Pardon me. Alright, well, let's look at Earth. Yes, I did just finish eating, in case you're wondering. Alright, well, Razor Petals could certainly get the job done. It pulls enemies towards me on its way back in, and then I can do that. So that's one possibility. Let's see what else we have. Earthquake Axe has multiple charges. I'm just not sure that's the right idea. Fading Petal has multiple charges. You know what I think would be best? Let's just go with the tried and true Frost Scimitar. So we've got Swords of Ice and Thunder. Then I'm gonna use... Well, that only gets one charge, though. Not that it really matters. But I think we're gonna keep with the theme. And then down here... Let's see... Honestly, that's probably our best bet, because everything else is very straight line. Then, do I further increase cooldowns, or do I focus on getting some damage up? I don't think either one is necessarily a bad choice. I do think... I think I'm undecided. Well, there's a shock, Dark Sage. Alright. First of all, put a sock in it, jackass. Second of all, I think what we do is we go with... Let's see. Well, first of all, base damage of 12, base damage of 10, plus a bunch of extra. Yeah, I think we just go with the tried and true. We have speedier spells that hit harder. And yeah, it's not putting all your eggs in one basket, but you don't need to put all your eggs in one basket in order to have a successful run. But that having been said, you're not going to necessarily be hurting if you choose to take something along the lines of the Spice Rack or Roxel's Pendulum either. You will be benefiting by having more uptime on your spells, and that's always a good thing. It's just, I'm a sucker for damage ups, what can I say? But I have proven before that this sort of high-tempo mentality definitely works well. As just constantly having uptime on these multiple charge spells makes it so that, yeah, each spell is doing less damage, but you're hitting more frequently and more consistently. So, take it with a grain of salt, but both strategies are effective. I just wanted to throw that out there before anyone really got into questioning what the hell I thought I was doing. So, Radiant Beat, how does that work? Well, you thrust with a sword, and then more swords show up to stab again. And then the signature does that, and outside of it just being a bigger main sword with a bunch more smaller swords, what really sets that one apart is that it gets a lot more range. As one of the downsides to... One of the downsides to Radiant Beat is that it's... Well, first of all, it's obviously melee range, so it doesn't go super far. But if you're picking up Radiant Beat, you know that already. Pardon me. No, the part that's a little bit more disconcerting for most people is how narrow the hitbox is. Because, I mean, you are essentially thrusting with a big electric rapier. And whereas the idea of a big electric rapier is generally a good thing, you do have to admit that every now and again it does come with some downsides. There is a very good chance I'll be walking out of this level with that Dark Katana, but I want to see what else is available first. But now on to one of the things that I really like about Radiant Beat, as this is a spell that I use frequently enough, kind of going against that narrative of, oh, all the lightning elementals signature spells suck. Except for the ones that I use regularly, apparently. But what I like about that one is when you get the mini swords circling around an enemy, they do hit other enemies, and thus making them far more effective in the long run. Alright, so yes, we're gonna go ahead and grab the katana. Kaboom. Let's see what's being sold or given away or whatever at the last port, the red portal. So I suppose what it is with Radiant Beat is that it checks a lot of positive boxes. It's got a narrow hitbox, and it doesn't have the greatest range. But if you can compensate for that, you do have a spell that handles crowds pretty well, and with a melee focus to make that Dark Katana put in even more work. I mean, I can't really help it, I just have a soft spot for that spell. Okay, so here's the problem. Strongman's Hammer is going to eventually make it so our spells take a really long time to come off a cooldown. But the Tempo Robe at least partially negates that. You know what? Let's go for it. I've never questioned... Well, I have questioned it before, but I've never just blown it off before, so why do it now? And yes, we're going to take that. Because now that we have the Dark Katana, a little bit of a melee focus, I think, is a good thing. Alright, anything else I want to pick up before I move on? Yeah, I'll grab that to give ourselves just a little bit of a defensive buffer zone. There we go. I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. And let me ask a completely unrelated question. How are y'all liking Magic the Gathering's Bloomburrow? Now, I know one person who's going to say that they're absolutely in love with it. And you know what? That's fine. Bloomburrow is what got my buddy back at... How did I throw both of them at once? I mean, I know the answer is obviously I double-tapped the Y button. Still. See, I'm kind of on the fence about Bloomburrow as a set, but I do like that it's doing interesting things rather than just continuing to power creep the entire game. And you know what? I am thankful for that. Like, I have way more fun with the game when it's allowing you to play around with interesting strategies rather than just continuing to make stronger effects cheaper. Instead, let's focus on some new effects. And you know, I am okay with that. I'm happy with that. And I hope you're all happy with that too, assuming you even play Magic the Gathering. And I know some of you do. I certainly don't expect that all of you do. That's just asking for too much of a homogenization of your audience. After all, I'm not asking any of you to go out and run motocross on your days off. And if you don't do that, you can't watch my videos. But Dark Sage, motocross will break my ankles. Ah, you pussy. Get out there and run a man's hobby. No, that is some toxic behavior right there. And if I started talking like that, I wouldn't blame all of you for being like, man, this guy's out of his mind. I'm out of here. I don't even care about motocross, but I have to do motocross to watch Wizard of Legend? That's ridiculous. By the way, for the record, no, I'm not a big motocross fan. In case any of you were wondering where that came up, I just chose a random-ass thing and then ran with it. Alright, well, if Frost Scimitar is an upgrade choice, then we can go back to you and see if we can get anything else that works nicely. It is not an upgrade choice, nor am I particularly interested in anything else here aside from upgrading Thunderline. So I'm not going to use Nocturne. Are going to buy the Curse Eater's Mask. And I might buy the Nerite Shell, but I'm not sure yet. That was a long, effective combo. I love it. Yeah, might as well buy the Nerite Shell now. What do I have to lose? Come on, Hunter Stiletto. Show up for me, baby. I know you want to. Yeah, with this being the second melee-focused build in a row, I can't get the quick kill as easily as I would like. I will not take that. You can go down the toilet there, Heroic Maelstrom. Dark Sage is a poser. He says he likes Jump Arcana but doesn't like Heroic Maelstrom. What is this man on about? Perfect. There. That's what you deserve. Funny, I piss about summoners all the time, but then my favorite Final Fantasy IV character is Rydia, a character who is defined by her ability to summon things. Maybe I am just a big old giant hypocrite, what do you know? Simple choice. You know, Dark Sage, there are other cursed relics you could take. Of course, but when that one is an option, I'm taking that one generally. You're boring. I'm also really good at the game, so... I'm usually not that level of, like, arrogant or, like, overconfident about things, but, I mean... At some point or another, I have to address some notion of self-worth, and... In that instance, or rather I should say in this inability to speak English, we all praise the dumbass. Try finger butthole? Yes. Oh, perfect. Don't worry, that was my fault. My finger slipped. I'm a silly, silly boy. I'm gonna do that. Anything else here I actually like? Yeah, the takeout box, actually, because I'm not taking a ton of damage on this run. Alright, and then there's another health orb down here, which I can grab for a shield. And we're good. Let's move. Drink up, let's boo-boo. I'm imagining about none of you are going to understand that reference. Let's boo-boo. What? Is he asking us to injure ourselves? Yes. Grab the freebie. Alright, this is working out nicely. Oh, and they even gave me my favorite anchor. But Dark Sage, it's the only anchor in the game. Yes. And one of my favorite defensive relics. That's good, because I certainly don't need some of this garbage I'm picking up. I guarantee some of you were sitting there yelling at your screens, "Why isn't he opening the treasure chest? Does he know something that we don't know?" Well, finally, the upgrade to Frost Scimitar. I was waiting on that. Another fun thing to remember when you get a build going like this is that the more damage bonuses you have, the quicker your spell signature rating or signature meter charges up. Signature rating, what? Yeah, Darksage, I thought that's what you were doing with this video series. Oh yeah! Alright, I think we're good. Let's just go. Erased. I'll show you cold feet. Oh my goodness. Again, erased. So by now, I'm certain you're seeing the combo potential of Radiant Beat just because of the delay on the swords coming in to do their stabby fun. Which means it is great for combo builds. Which, of course, is the primary thing I tend to put together anyway, is combos. I like it when one spell can flow nicely into the next. And you know, on some of these Spotlight episodes where I've been having trouble, maybe that's part of the problem, is I've just been having a problem with the combo that I've been using. But I'd like to think that I'm pretty decent at throwing together combos in this game, so... I don't know, you can look at it one of two ways. Either I'm not sure how to put together some combos, or some spells are just kinda trash. Bet you thought I forgot I had Glacial Cross, didn't you? Don't need anything here. Alright. Bring it home with that saxophone! A little base movement speed never hurt anybody. So by now, I'm sure you're seeing the strengths of Radiant Beat. It scores multiple hits. It's got wonderful zoning potential. It's got wonderful combo potential. Like, it's just an overall really good spell. Like, I can't really say anything more than that. Okay, I think we go ahead and drop that to pick that up, and that's just part of the Hunter Satchel. I'm actually going to go without the tapping gloves. I'd also like to point out that Radiant Beat is part... Okay. That Radiant Beat was part of the Phantom update, so this spell definitely had a slightly newer design philosophy to it than a lot of their older spells. So if it seems like this spell kinda does everything, that's probably why. Because the Phantom update gave us a lot of really fun, really powerful tools. Oh, were they frozen there for a reason? Were they stunned? Was the game glitchy? What did I just witness there? There we go, even better cooldown reduction, more movement speed. Okay, the game has tried to give me this 3 separate times, but I kind of like my signature charge where it is, thank you. Oh, baby. I suppose by now there's also no point in hiding the idea that it does great damage against bosses. Like, even the twins that resist 20% of the damage just got nuked by it. Oh, hey, unicorn, that thing. Dark Sage, have you considered slowing down? Yeah, but if I do that, then I lose part of my identity. Besides, don't you have fun listening to me trip over my words? Almost. Ooh, got him with the Thunderline. Alright. Okay, so you were seeing 2 things at work there. 1, a very strong build, and 2, just a lot of experience with using Radiant Beat. Like, again, I know I kind of talked down the Lightning Elemental signature Arcana, but make no mistake, there are definitely some that stand head and shoulders above the others, and this is definitely one of them. I mean, if you haven't given Radiant Beat a shot, just try it. See what you think of it. It slots very well into other melee-focused builds. And even if you aren't running something combo-heavy like Frost Scimitar, you can make it work with just about any good stun or entry tool. Like, it's just good. So, yeah, give it a shot. That's really all I have to say on that note, and obviously, we've now come to the end. So thank you guys very much for continuing to support and spending your free time here with me. I very much appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Wolfering. You take care, everybody.